Here at the Patina Collective, we have a lot of special cars that need a lot of special care. We have our setup for the museum that's gonna be opening soon. We brought certain cars that have been in storage for a little minute. As you see here, we got this beautiful wide body R129. It's custom. You can see it has swirls, it got pigtails. So this one's gonna be getting a deeper paint correction. Whoever had it before, they were trying to do something with the paint, but they just made it worse. As you see, a lot of these cars that we have in the museum have a lot of unconventional body lines that you gotta pay special attention to. I'm gonna show you guys tricks of the trade that go into taking care of these special wide body cars, like a couple little pointers to watch those edges and make sure you don't really hit them and burn through the paint. It's a special custom wide body and it needs that special love. There's a few steps that I like to take to getting the car ready. So I'm gonna go step by step. Like for example, step one, I'm gonna be prepping the paint, decontaminating, getting ready. It's been sitting inside and we're not gonna pull it out because it's already on display. We have it in position. I'm gonna be doing a waterless wash, so I'm gonna show you guys the step I go in without going with the pressure washer and washing it down like that. Step two, I gotta go with the paint meter, see the depth of the paint, see what I'm working with, get an idea, gauge, and then go from that. Step three is gonna be, I'm gonna test an area, see kind of what I can get away with, what pad, what compound. Step four is finishing it, waxing, polishing, whatever I do to seal the paint. That's just exterior. Deeper down, we'll go into what I do for the interior. But yeah, stay tuned guys. You know it's the Julio special. I'm gonna give you guys a little sauce and tap in. I wanna show you guys love, show me love, everybody. Follow my Instagram and let me show you guys how to get these cars right. Let's go. We're gonna go into the first step, doing the waterless wash, wiping the car down, getting it right for paint measuring and the paint correction part. When I do a waterless wash, the way I like to do it, I always have two rags. I have the one that I spray on and I'm doing the initial wipe, and then the one that I wipe off and buff. That's how I do it. And then you have a few rags on deck because you're not gonna be using the same rag the whole time. I like to use one side for a panel, fold it, use the other side, so I use the most out of each rag, you know? And then of course I have my waterless wash on deck in the bottle. Also guys, I know there's a lot of, OG detailers out there, so if you guys ever have any tips, tap in, let me know. I'm always open to learn more because, it's a community. Everybody has their own styles, their own tricks, everybody does things, different ways. And likewise, if you guys ever looking for tips, drop comments, let me know. That's what this series is about, the Julio special and the ins and outs of the way I work on all these cars. They have body kits, so you gotta be careful. Sometimes they're super thin along the line, so you gotta be really careful, man. And honestly, I'm lucky that I really haven't burned through on these cars, because it's the whole paint job right there. Ain't no coming back from a burn on this. Tape off the edges, the chrome, the accents, the trims and stuff like that. So when you go along with the buffer, you don't really burn into it, you don't mess it up, you don't tarnish it. As I'm finishing up, wiping the car down and stuff like that, getting it ready, you can see the car looks a lot better, it looks good. And to untrained naked eye, if you walk by, it's glossy, it's shiny, but when you look in, to my eye, all I see is imperfections, swirls, pigtails, the paint looks crazy. We could leave the car like this for you guys to see it, but as the detailer here at the Patina Museum, I personally can't leave it like this. There's a standard that I uphold, so I try to get the cars as perfect as I can. You never get a car 100% perfect. It's always gonna be difficult. Even when they come out the dealership, they're never 100% perfect. I've seen Bentleys come out of the dealership with swirls looking crazy. And even the newest of cars come out at a factory swirled. So I always say like 90, 95 is probably the best you're gonna get. I don't know if the camera picks it up as well as I see it in person, but here you got all these pigtails from whoever previously tried to work on it. They didn't really know how to deal with this paint, so all they did was make it worse. So pigtail is basically when the pad has something in the pad and it's swirling in the paint. So as you're going, you're making these little pigtail swirls. So you can see them along here, you got swirls, you can see every pass they did. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in and fix that. We're gonna correct it, we're gonna get it looking right. We finished prepping, we finished wiping the car. I'm just going down on the spot on the hood and hitting it with the clay bar. After that, we're gonna go and then we're gonna do the test spot with the pad. So that's why I'm just hitting it with the clay just to see what comes up off of the paint. Right now, we just kind of knead the clay, get it soft, fold it a couple times. If you don't know, we got different levels of clay, right? So you got a normal clay, so this one's more malleable. You can move it around, it's less aggressive, right? Then you got medium level clay, that's gonna be a little more aggressive, a little thicker, and then of course you got a heavy clay. So right now I'm going with the original lighter clay. You spray it down so it's nice and lubricated. Like you can feel the paint is smooth. So as I'm going, I'm just feeling for any impurities in the paint, any dirt, any particles, anything that is gonna affect as I'm going with the pad. If the pad picks up any dirt, then you're gonna see swirls, you're gonna see scratches. That's pretty much what we're trying to pick up with the clay bar. We got through that first step. Paint is good, it's ready for paint correction. Right here we got a paint meter, right? So this is what I use to check the thickness of the paint. Every time I go, before I start a paint correction, I always check the thickness of the paint. Just turn it on, boom. So you got the mils option, that's what you use to gauge how much thickness is on the paint. I get around 4 mils of paint to 7. A lot of times with these custom cars though, you're gonna have a respray. So you're gonna have more paint to work with because after they do the kit, they respray the car. So with this one, let's see what we're working with. We have 21 mils of paint right here. Over here, we're at around 19. So this car has definitely been resprayed after it got custom kitted and all that. So I know now I have plenty of paint to work with. What I'm gonna do is I'm still gonna do a test spot. So I'm not gonna go aggressive, I'm gonna start light. I got my LHR 15. This is my Rupes buffer. These are the best, top of the line, I feel. If you guys have a different opinion, leave it in the comment what you guys think is best, but Rupes always does the job for me. The pad I'm using is the yellow foam pad with Rupes. So this is the pad that I like to use when I don't want to go too rough, but I still need a little bit of aggressiveness. But you know, this is like a good polished pad. I am gonna go with the more coarse compound just to see what it does as opposed to the lighter. So the way Rupes does it, they have their coarse pad, which is the blue pad, and then they got their coarse compound. And then they got their fine polish with the polishing pad. But I'm gonna try the coarse compound with the polishing pad just to see how that does on this hood right here. So before I start, I'm gonna do just a little square just for my mental. I can kind of see the difference of how good it does or how bad it does or how many passes I gotta do just in that spot. I got the square just to see, kind of gauge the difference that it makes, and I got the yellow foam pad with the coarse Rupes compound. So let's see what it does right here. So what I like to do, I put the polish on there. I already got the polish on. Add a couple more dots just so it's nice and lubricated because it is the first pass. Boom, boom, now we're good. And then as I go, so I cross hatch it. Boom, I go left, I go right, I go up, down, that's one pass. So I'm gonna do about 2-3 passes just to see how it does, because I know one pass isn't gonna do anything. So right there, I just did 3 passes on it. I'm gonna grab a new rag. As you see, I got a brand new rag to wipe off this first pass so it's not contaminated, it's fresh out the pack. And we're gonna wipe off and see how we did. As I'm wiping, I can already feel it's so much smoother, it's so much better. You can kind of see it brightened up. So that's just 3 passes. So now I know I don't gotta go too aggressive. It picks up pretty good. After I do that, then I can go with a softer pad and really polish it and glass it up. All right, guys, so now I know what I'm working with. It's time to dive in. I'm ready. Let's get it. So the way I do it, I always go section by section. Every section as you go with the car is gonna need different amount of attention. Like for example, you have a section with all these curves. This section right here is gonna need more attention than the hood that's more flat. So section by section, always remember, 2-foot sections is the best way to go, guys. Usually what I do is all the deeper stuff, I'll leave it towards the end and I'll address it after. That's pretty much what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna just go over it, see how it is, and then just pretty much just keep banging out the hood section by section. So another thing, when I start the buffer, I always start at 1, the lowest speed, and then work my way up to whatever speed I want to go up to. I normally try to be around 4 or 5, just because it's more controllable. You don't want to go too crazy and burn through anything, but that's usually kind of like the speed that I'll use for the buffer. Start low, then work your way up gradually. Also, as you finish running the buffer, before you pick it up, you always want to let it finish on the paint. You don't pick it up because then you get flashing, you get slinging of the compound and all that, you get it everywhere. So always try to avoid picking it up before it fully finishes spinning. It's another little tip. Alright guys, so as you see, we finished the hood of the car already, so I'm moving on to the fender. So I'm gonna get to that and keep it going, guys. As I did this first pass right here, I still have some defects on here, so I'm gonna keep hitting that. I'm gonna go on to this side of the panel. As you see, I got this very defined line from the fender. As I go over here, I'm gonna avoid riding over this line so much just because I don't want any chances of burning through. But what I'm gonna do is as I go, I pretty much kiss the line. As I go over it, I kiss it and just go with it. Instead of riding along the actual edge of the fender, I'm just kiss over it, kiss it, to avoid chances of burning through. Right now I'm just looking at it again. You always, after a pass, you inspect your panel, expect what you just did, and you just keep going, see what you gotta do. Like right now, I feel like I could keep going with the same pad, keep going with the same polish I'm using, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step it up with the polish and I'm gonna go to a compound just to be a little more aggressive with this panel because it is pretty rough. You can see it took it down a little more. So I'm gonna keep riding that same combo. That's the combo I'm gonna do to get this panel looking right. pretty much did what I had to do for the fender as far as the first step. So I haven't polished anything right now. All I've done pretty much is like a first step. First step I did was pretty much like a cut. Now after you go and polish. Like it looks like glass right now, but it's still a little hazy until you go over with that last step and polish it for real. So now let's get to the bumper and get that done so we can finish this car. As we move on from the front section, we got the door. So the door, it has its curves, it has its lip underneath. It's very different. Honestly, aren't really too tricky. You just gotta be careful. Like I said before, when you ride the edges, you don't go over the face of the edge. You just kiss it, boom, and you get it as good. Because you definitely don't want to be burning through any areas like this, because it shows, you see it. The whole car could be glass, but then when you burn through this, it kind of just throws it off because you see white underneath. You're not gonna see the black, you're not gonna see the gloss, it's just gonna be white. Down here, where it gets thinner, I have the 1-inch rupees buffer, so that'll be easier to get these areas, the smaller areas. I try not to use bigger pads when it gets tight like this because I don't want rubbing on the paint with the actual buffer itself. There's different size tools, there's different buffers for different areas of the car, so stay tuned because I'm gonna be showing you guys all the different tools that I have and use here, and maybe those tools will help you guys down the road if you guys ever come across some crazy custom cars like this that you gotta get into deep areas or smaller spaces. You know, you gotta have the right tools for those type of things. We already went through the first step of correcting the paint with the heavier compoundish, right? So now we're ready, we're gonna go in with the polish, softer, so we're gonna bring back the depth of the paint, get it shiny, get it ready, and that's the final step that we're gonna hit this car with. For this step, we went from the first pad, which is more aggressive, to remove some of the defects in the paint. So now, applying the polish, we wanna go with a softer pad. So with this step, when you're applying the polish, you go with a lower RPM. You don't wanna go too high. I like to say maybe in between 3, 2.5, somewhere around there is where you wanna be applying your polish at. So this process, the final step, usually goes a little faster because you're not sitting here trying to remove defects. You're literally just applying the polish to the paint to give it that depth, that gloss, whether it's a sealant, polish, or whatever. You're just applying it, so it's not as time consuming. You're not sitting there panel by panel trying to remove anything. A lot of the hardest work is in prepping the paint and removing the defects. As far as finishing, applying the polish or applying the ceramic, that part right there isn't so time consuming. Ceramic is a little more time consuming because that you are applying panel by panel and you gotta wait, give it some flash time, then remove it. So it's more of a process than just applying polish. So that's where we're at. Damn, bro, you see that depth though? It's like you falling into an abyss. This is the thing about black. As you go, when you wipe things, you'll see like it's like a little pinstripe, like a little scratch, a very fine scratch. That's just from wiping. So that probably came from something in the rag, which is why we have so many rags as detailers, because you always got to use fresh rag, especially when you're paint correcting, because the littlest things in your rags will cause you to go crazy, because as a paint correction specialist, you're looking at the paint and you want to get it just right. But when you see stuff like that, you want to keep hitting it, keep attacking it. So the best thing to do that is always have fresh rag, guys. So we pretty much went through all the steps of what it takes to prep a car to put it on display here at the museum, and here it is finally on display. Stay tuned, because down the road we're gonna have all kinds of videos like engine bay detailing, exterior detailing. We're gonna do interior details, we're gonna do paint corrections, pretty much everything that I do here at the Patina. We're gonna have deeper videos. If you guys have anything that you guys are curious about, drop down in the comments, let me know what you guys are interested in knowing, and I'll see if we get a video on that for you guys. You guys got a little sneak peek of this wide body custom SL that is currently ready for display here at the museum. So guys, this was the Julio special, so stay tuned and subscribe for more videos.